we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we've got Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott who still need their contracts. So 1 out of 3. Good news is that one's done. Bad news is the other 2 are left. Here's Micah Parsons from yesterday on CeeDee Lamb getting his new contract.
Congratulations to my man, CeeDee Lamb. Man, couldn't be happier for the guy. One of the best dudes in the locker room, one of the best players on our team, and to get the payday he got to take care of his family, I couldn't be more happy for CD. So congratulations to my brother, CeeDee Lamb. Man, it's a dream to be watching you, parting up with you, and suiting up with you every week. So congratulations on your bread. You earned every dollar.
Micah Parsons from his podcast with Bleacher Report. And, let me stop there and ask you this, because Malik Hooker, Cowboys safety, called out Micah for doing the podcast. You're not as focused as you need to be. You're not all in. And Micah says, hey, it's my day off. I do other things on my day off, and I'm still focused on football. Where do you come down on this idea that guys, is it a perception thing? Is it a reality thing? Is it okay? We see it's kind of the way things are now. Guys use their voices in different ways, and there's so many ways. All you got to do is sit down, press a button at your house, and you have a podcast.
It does. I think it puts pressure on you. Towards the end of my career, my brother joins the team in 2018. We start our own podcast, and we're in there once a week doing our podcast, either Monday night or Tuesday afternoon. But you do feel like, hey, if I'm not delivering and being the player that I'm supposed to be on the field, this does look like a distraction, even though, like Micah said, it's maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours out of your day where you're looking at some notes and you're going on there and you're just being yourself, talking on your podcast, where some guys for an hour, hour and a half out, 2 hours out of their day, they're doing something that they want to do on that off day anyway. But I think with Micah Parsons, just look at his play. He comes, he delivers, he shows up for his team. He's a player he's supposed to be. And I would say now, being out of football, every guy should, at some point in that off day or their free time, you should start to do things that you think you might want to do when football's over. Because when I decided to retire for 2 months, I was just sitting there like, what am I going to do now? Waking up, taking my kids to school, coming back home, just sitting in the house. So guys need to be very proactive in doing things, not just thinking of ideas, but doing things. So I credit Micah Parsons for doing that, because he's just slowly building, like we saw with Jason Kelsey, comes off the field, jumps right into another job, has an already successful podcast. You don't have to wait and see. So I understand Malik Hooker. Hey, I'm trying to get this team the best I can. And maybe he shaved 30 minutes off of what Micah Parsons might have been doing for his podcast that he devotes to the Cowboys now. Maybe that's the difference in how they win the Super Bowl. I don't know, but I love seeing guys. I think it should happen behind closed doors, of saying, hey, I'm on this team. I'm going to challenge you. Hey, are you doing what's needed for this team to be successful? Shouldn't be through a podcast and publicly, but I don't mind that at all. I think that should be the case. When you have a good football team and you trust each other, guys should be able to question things. Just, I think you should do it in a better way.
I think you make a great point. And this applies in any setting. When you have a team of individuals who present themselves to the world, when you start fighting publicly, that's a sign of dysfunction, and that's not good for anybody, and it only makes for harder feelings, bigger issues, and it eventually lays the foundation for some sort of an eruption, which, from our perspective, as we cover these things, is good. From their perspective, it's not good. Handle it privately and discreetly. And, whatever happened this offseason, Micah Parsons realized he needs to do more to be a leader, so something caused that switch to flip for him to develop and mature and grow, but he can still do his podcast and take care of business and also be a great leader for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, you have a chance to win $1 million in the NBC sweepstakes on Yahoo Fantasy. Just download the redesigned Yahoo Fantasy app or go to NBCSports.com/fantasymillion for additional details. What are you waiting for?
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.